Imagine, if you will, you're about to take your property off the market. It's been up a while and has not sold. You want to try again after giving it a little rest. You'd like to have it look fresh on the MLS when it goes back up, and you know that days active in MLS showing as DAM, D-A-M, will reset back to 0 when the property's relisted. However, you also know that CDAM, which tracks cumulative days in MLS, keeps accumulating when a property is relisted. How long do you have to keep your property off the market before it looks like a completely new listing? I'll explain. New MLS rule affecting how long it takes for a listing to reset. There's a new rule in the California regional MLS changing the time it takes to reset listings. As of November 19th, 2025, cumulative days active in MLS, CDAM, resets in 30 days instead of the 90 days it used to take. Background on days active in MLS. When you have a property listed in the MLS, the number of days your property is on the market is tracked and posted on your listing. This is how buyers can easily tell how long a property has been listed for sale. Yeah, this was traditionally called days on market or DOM, but now they call it days active in MLS or DAM. When you let a listing expire or cancel and then relist the property on the MLS, the days active in the MLS, DAM, will reset back to 0. But cumulative days on MLS, CDAM, still accumulate, showing how long your property has been available on the market. It doesn't matter if you change agents or stay with the original agent, CDAM still accumulates. Before the rule change, the only way you could get a complete reset with CDAM was to take the property off the market for a full 90 days. Now, you only need to take your property off the market for 30 days for the CDAM to reset. FYI, the days your property is under contract or in escrow does not add to DAM or CDAM. We have a blog and a video called Do Days on Market for Homes Matter that goes into the subject in more depth. Why did the CR and MLS make this change to cumulative days? In a statement that was put out by the California Regional MLS, they said, this change is coming based on a reevaluation of how best to display the current market. Previously, it took several months to create an accurate market analysis. Now, with faster information tools, we found that a complete picture of the market can be more accurately reflected in just a 30-day period. The statement focuses on the evaluation of the market, while the general public may be interested in something else. Economists look at time on the market to evaluate the market, but buyers and sellers typically look at how long a particular property has been on the market to evaluate that specific piece of property. These days, buyers know basic information like price and size before even looking at a property. If they're considering writing an offer, the first thing a buyer will ask is how long has it been on the market. They do this with some hopes of getting some insight as to the motivations. The decision to change the rule was probably made by some committee that, for whatever reason, felt 90 days was too long. This rule change seems to favor sellers more than buyers and may be a byproduct of the current market. However, what matters now is that you know the rule change. What does the new rule on cumulative days in MLS mean for sellers? Knowing that cumulative days active in the MLS resets after 30 days is important information if you're considering taking your property off the market. You no longer have to wait 90 days to appear new to the market. Now you only have to wait 30 days. This could be helpful for sellers during the holidays. The holidays can be a slower time of year, and you may not feel like showing your home while you have company in town. Now you can take it off the MLS for 30 days and look fresh when it comes back home. If you have a listing expire and plan on relisting, you may want to consider waiting 30 days versus putting it right back on. Of course, this is a more complex decision, and you will want to discuss this with your agent. What does the new rule on cumulative days in MLS mean for buyers? Buyers often want to know how long a property's been on the market to help them gauge the motivation of a seller. This can be good information to have when you're about to write an offer. Now that CDAM resets in 30 instead of 90 days, buyers might want to dig a little deeper. Buyers tracking how long a property have been on the market will now want to look at the property listing history and not just the summary. Sophisticated buyers know the listing history, including price changes, is permanently recorded in the MLS, and any agent who is an active member of the MLS will have access. Your agent should be checking this for you, and of course, it never hurts to ask. Bottom line, there's a new rule in the California Regional MLS changing the time to refresh cumulative days active in MLS, known as CDAM, from 90 to 30 days. This new rule started November 19th, 2025. Days active in the MLS, now called DAM, is used to track the number of days a property has been actively listed in the MLS. This is refreshed every time a property is listed, regardless of the agent. Cumulative days active in MLS is now called CDAM or CDAM. Counts the number of days a property has been actively listed on the MLS, including if it has been relisted. Sellers need to be aware of this number when relisting because buyers pay attention to how long a property's been on the market. Buyers who are tracking how long a property's been for sale should look at the property's listing history and not just rely on the posted CDAM. Buyers and sellers should consult their realtor, who will be able to obtain the listing information and guide as to what it all means. Thank you, and we hope you found this helpful and informative. If so, please like, share, subscribe. For real estate advice, if you're looking for a real estate broker to guide you through the sales process, or a reliable property management company to help you handle a rental property in Long Beach, Los Angeles, or Orange County, California, or you're just considering it and have a few questions about real estate, contact the Mike Dunfee Group today. We are happy to help.